Do you think a stroke only happens suddenly, with dramatic symptoms like facial drooping or one-sided paralysis? The frightening truth is, your body might have been trying to warn you long before it happened. You just didn't recognize the signs. Up to 90% of us miss these subtle, silent signals every day. Small, seemingly harmless symptoms that are actually your brain's cry for help before disaster strikes. In today's video, I'll help you decode the secret language of your brain, the early warning signs of stroke that few people talk about, and almost no one warns you about. Stay with me until the end, because misunderstanding just one of these signs could cost you, or someone you love, your health, your independence, or even your life. So, what exactly is a stroke? Simply put, it's when the blood supply that delivers oxygen and nutrients to your brain gets disrupted, either because of a blockage or a rupture in a blood vessel. Within minutes, brain cells begin to die. The result? Possible lifelong disability, or even death, if not treated in time. Every year, millions of people around the world experience this nightmare. Why? Because while the brain is small, it consumes 20% of your body's energy and is entirely dependent on a steady flow of blood. The brain has no backup oxygen supply. Just a few minutes without it, and the damage becomes irreversible. That's why early detection and prevention are absolutely vital. We've all heard about stroke risk factors, but why does it still creep up like a silent killer? Because alongside the risks we can't control, like age or family history, modern lifestyle habits have become the biggest threats, and we often ignore them. High blood pressure, diabetes, bad cholesterol, smoking, being overweight, chronic stress. These everyday issues are quietly damaging your blood vessels. The danger? It happens slowly, silently, until it's too late. So ask yourself, have you become too comfortable with habits that could be hurting you? The truth is, we're trapped in a stroke risk matrix, and most people don't even know it. From processed foods to sedentary routines, long-term stress, and even environmental pollution, we are surrounded by hidden threats that silently destroy our vascular health. Are you sure you're not unknowingly inviting a stroke into your life? And the aftermath? It's not just about physical health. A stroke can bring financial ruin, emotional devastation, and become a heavy burden on your family and society. But don't let fear win. Remember, every healthy choice you make today is a shield for your brain tomorrow. So how do we identify this silent enemy called stroke? First, understand that strokes usually occur in two main scenarios: blocked blood vessels in the brain, known as ischemic stroke, or brain infarction. These make up the majority of all strokes. Ruptured blood vessels, called hemorrhagic stroke, less common but often more severe. No matter the type, many early warning signs are shockingly similar. And perhaps the clearest red flag your body can give you, the one you should never ignore, is something called a transient ischemic attack, or TIA. Many people casually refer to it as a mini stroke and brush it off. But let me be clear, there's nothing mini about it when it comes to warning signs. The symptoms of a TIA, transient ischemic attack, can look exactly like a full stroke. You might suddenly experience facial drooping, weakness in your arm or leg, or slurred speech. But here's the dangerous part. These symptoms often disappear within minutes, rarely lasting more than an hour. Because they fade so quickly, many people shrug them off, thinking, it probably wasn't anything serious. That's a deadly mistake. A TIA is not a harmless event. It's your body sounding the alarm. It happens when blood flow to the brain is temporarily interrupted, but hasn't yet caused permanent damage. However, the risk of a major stroke in the days following a TIA is extremely high, especially within the first 48 to 72 hours. That's why a TIA should be treated as a medical emergency. It's your golden opportunity to take action before a catastrophic stroke strikes. When you notice stroke or TIA symptoms, remember the FAST rule. This simple acronym can help you recognize stroke signs early and respond in time. F. Face. Drooping. Ask the person to smile. If one side of the face droops or the smile is uneven, that's a warning sign. A. Arm weakness. Ask them to raise both arms forward. If one arm drifts downward or feels weak, take it seriously. S. Speech difficulty. Listen carefully. Are they slurring their words, speaking unclearly, or unable to repeat a simple sentence? T. Time to call 911. If you notice any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call emergency services immediately. Stroke is a race against time. Every minute counts in saving brain function and saving lives. The FAST rule doesn't just apply to major strokes, it's just as critical for transient ischemic attacks, TIAs. Even if the symptoms go away, don't ignore them. That mini stroke is really your brain's distress signal, warning that something far worse could be coming. Other emergency symptoms to watch for. Be especially alert if someone experiences sudden vision loss, severe dizziness or loss of balance, the worst headache of their life. These are urgent red flags. Act immediately. Here's the truth. Most strokes aren't completely out of the blue. In many cases, your body has been whispering warnings for days, even weeks, before the major event. These early signs are subtle and easy to dismiss as everyday fatigue or discomfort. But for those in high-risk groups, such as people with high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, smokers, or those who are overweight, being able to recognize these early cues could be the difference between life and tragedy. Pay close attention to new, unusual, or recurring symptoms in your body. For example, a new type of headache, or a familiar headache that suddenly feels very different. Brief tingling or weakness on one side of your face, arm, or leg, lasting just a few seconds or minutes, then disappearing, but happening more than once. Sudden moments of dizziness or imbalance, even if they feel minor. Slight slurring or difficulty finding words, even if it seems subtle. Blurred vision, flashes of light, black spots, or double vision that comes on suddenly and goes away. A sense of extreme fatigue that feels different from normal tiredness and has no clear cause. The most important thing is to notice changes from your usual baseline. Pay attention to how often these symptoms happen and whether they're getting more frequent or more intense. And if you already have risk factors for stroke, like high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart disease, do not ignore any strange signs. This could be your body sending a clear warning signal. Listening to it and acting early could save your life. Recognizing the subtle signs of stroke isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to empower you. Being aware of these early signals helps you take control of your health, improve prevention, and respond in time if something serious happens. Sometimes, what feels like a passing symptom is actually your body whispering something important. Don't miss the chance to talk to your doctor about it. Be prepared, because preparation can save lives. Keep 911 or your local emergency number in a visible spot. Have a list of medications ready if you or a loved one has chronic conditions. Know where the nearest stroke center or hospital with a stroke unit is. Consider creating a family emergency response plan so everyone knows what to do if a stroke strikes. Being prepared is always better than being sorry. Stroke prevention shouldn't feel like a burden. It's a journey toward a stronger, healthier. You think of it as a way to redesign your lifestyle, brick by brick, to build a stronger shield for your brain. You can start small. Add 10 more minutes of walking each day. Eat a bit more greens and fruits. Cut back just a little on salt or greasy foods. These small, steady changes are the key to long-term control and can significantly reduce your risk of stroke in the future. And if stroke does happen, don't give up hope. The recovery journey can be tough, but stroke recovery isn't just about relearning to walk or speak. It can also be about rediscovering your strength, your resilience, and a new version of yourself. Many survivors say that after a stroke, they finally understood the true value of every step, every word, and every shared moment with family. If you or a loved one has been through it, What's the greatest lesson you've learned? Share it in the comments below. Your story could offer hope to someone who really needs it right now.